Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second replay cast that has been requested from the man himself, Visual. I will be Michael Phoenix once again. I did say I was going to be a couple hours, but nevertheless, I'm back after about 15 minutes. And I'll quickly go through the draft so we can see what's going down in this game. This time around, Visual, he'll be on the offlane Magnus by the looks of it. It should be a mid Magnus, but there is a Meepo, so that's who I'm assuming is going to go mid. Played by Gog, mind you. On the Shadow Shaman, we have Rockdard. We did have a Shadow Shaman last game as well, but this time around, being played by Rockdard rather than Horus. Senior Cheesy Cake, playing the safe lane Phantom Assassin, so that will be the carry of the Radiant. And Horus, he'll be playing the position 5 Oracle. So, on the dire end, we've got Crano Color Chafa, not sure. On the Bloodseeker, Lunatic is playing the AM. We've got Gui Mao on the Luna. We have a Bristleback played by Gorillon, and finally we have a Crystal Maiden played by Graziano. My goodness, these names. Gonna be the bane of my existence. And looks like there'll be no contention for the bounty rune, so everyone will just get their respective bounties and just be happy with those. Looks like Horus thought he was going to wait for Senior Cheesy Cake to come take it, but probably better to just give it to the supports. You block the lane. You're going to get all those last hits anyway. Give the poor supports a chance to get some gold. And looks like we're going to have a mid Meepo up against a Luna, which is rather strange because we don't generally see a Luna in mid. The way the lanes are set out, I suppose he has to because the AM has to be on the safe lane because he's not a good mid. And Luna's probably a bit better off in mid than the AM would be. And Bloodseeker, of course, we have a Psyker bot. Psyker jungle, my apologies. So, nothing too surprising there. Standard pub game where you see a freaking jungler who's probably not going to show himself for the next 10 minutes. See, Gorillon, he's playing up against that Phantom Assassin and the Shadow Shaman on the Bristleback. That being said, it is a tri-lane, so Horus is there as well. Now, has Horus gone for the Fortune's End? He has, so he will be able to hold him in place if need be, and then they can follow up with the Shackles from the Shadow Shaman. In fact, they can do it right now, and they will do so, just before the Bristleback passive comes up. And there's the Shackle, and it should be a dead Bristle. The slow from the dagger. Oh, they walked the back a bit too fast, but Horus still gets the kill. Luckily, I thought maybe Bristol may have been able to walk away, but luckily I think the creep got the last kill, last hit on that. Meanwhile, mid, Gog should have a very easy lane. Luna won't really cause a Meepo that many problems. And he's already level 3 as well. So he's got the 2 Meepos now. Can send one off to the jungle if he really wants. Start stacking up some creeps. Otherwise, it looks like he's just going to go hit up just use them both in the mid lane for the time being. But if you're really effective with the micro on the Meepo, you can just farm so much faster than anyone else can. And that's the whole strength of Meepo is to get so farmed so quickly that they just can't do anything about it. And we'll have to see if Gog has those micro skills. At this point, I don't see anything too special. Looks like he's just selecting both Meepos and just using them accordingly. He's going for the poof, but has no net, so he can't hold Mao in place, which is what we're going to call Luna. We're going to call him Mao because I don't know how to pronounce that name. Visual, meanwhile, seems to be okay in the off lane. Copping a bit of harass from Graziano, but at the end of the day, still able to get some of those centaurs. And he should get the last hit. In fact, he gets both the creep and the neutral. And they're giving away too much to this Magnus. He's got 16 last hits on an offlane Magnus. That's just way too many. And he hasn't gone for anything in Empower. He's going for the Skewer and the Shockwave, which is pretty standard. We have seen some people go Empower these days to allow for those last hits, but not this Magnus. Looks like Gorillon. Yeah. He got shackled up a bit, but nothing too much. Just a bit harass. It's going to be very hard to kill him off because now he's got 2 levels in that Bristleback. Just blocks so much damage. And this is the part where it gets very hard to kill the Bristle. Like, he literally has to be facing you so you can just deal full damage to him. Otherwise, it's just pointless. And those, if he gets those Quill Sprays stacked up, it's going to be a lot of damage. Horus, he's got to go for the Fortune's End now if he really wants to. I thought they were going to go for a play there, but no Fortune's End used. Now they might use it, and they do, but it's too short. And Shadow Shaman just wasn't in range for the Shackle. In fact, I thought he was going to run in and try to Shackle, but even then, I don't feel like they're really going to be able to kill this Bristleback unless they get a long enough Fortune's End to get the Shackle in. And then they might be able to finish off with the Purifying Flames, which is actually a lot of damage. And a very low cooldown as well. It's like 2 point something seconds, 2.25. I should mention the drafts right now. The Radiant have a very strong draft, assuming the Meepo can play Meepo. They can rotate to the late game if they need to, but they have a very strong mid lineup. Whereas the Dire, they have a very late game style lineup. So if it goes very, very late, then they should be the ones on top. But even then, you've got the RP to be afraid of. So you really can't forget about that massive skill. Net comes out from Gog and the Poofs, and it's a lot of damage, but there was actually only one Poof because they couldn't get this Meepo didn't have the mana available for it. Bit of a shame. And Gorillon is in a bit of trouble and gets killed off from Senor Cheesy Cake. I'm just going to call him Bristleback because that name is just too hard to pronounce. I'm not even sure if Gorillon is the right way to say it, but it's just making me say all the wrong words. Visual has the RP now available. In fact, Meepo is rotating around and looks like he just wanted to use the Shrine, but hasn't used it quite yet. Got to be careful not to kill himself with that Meepo. And I don't think he's going to have he might not even have enough to kill off this neutrals. No, he probably will now. Forgot about the fact that he had the Iron Talon. Thing is, though, this Bloodseeker can see him because he does have that Thirst leveled up, and he will start making the chase. And I think Meepo is in big trouble. He uses the Shrine, actually. He's okay for the time being. Now AM's trapped up with the net. And the Poofs come out. It's a lot of damage onto Lunatic, but he'll back off. The Skewer, not in time. Could commit the RP. In fact, they'll commit it now just to be able to get the Bloodseeker. And Gog will get the last hit. So still worked out well for the Radiant. I thought that was going to go a bit bad, but luckily they got the Bloodseeker. Shrine used perfectly by Gog. And it's perfectly okay to commit the RP onto one hero at this stage of the game. Really, you just want to get it on cooldown. So if you need to use it, you just use it. As long as it means you're going to get a kill, there's absolutely nothing wrong with committing the RP this early onto one hero. In fact, it's advised. Looks like PA not farming the best. Only 24 last hits. So maybe focusing too much on trying to take Bristleback out. And not focusing on getting all the farm. But should be able to catch up. Got a level 2 dagger. Will be enough to last hit if need be. They shackle him again. And they're dealing a lot of damage to him. But I don't think they're going to be able to finish him off. And the Quill Sprays are just too dangerous. Now the dagger can be thrown out. And looks like the Fog of War just screwed him around a bit. And he didn't get that last dagger off. It wouldn't have killed the Bristleback anyway. But that's what you got to be careful of, I feel. Like you can... At the very least, you need 3 people on that Bristle at this stage of the game to kill him. If you don't have Horus there with you, there's no point. Because you will not be able to finish him off. And he just heals up with the Shrine, comes back in. And in fact, they shackle again. Now Horus is here, but Senor Cheesecake is very low HP. Now it looks like Rocktard. He might be in trouble. And he will get taken out. So that's 1 kill goes the way of the Bristleback. And that's just something you can't do. And now old Magnus, he's in big trouble. He can't skewer away because of the Rupture. And he will do so. He goes down the hill. But there is a blink from Lunatic. And unfortunately gives a kill away to the Bloodseeker. Another thing, obviously should note, Visual does have to have a TP on him constantly. Didn't have one at that point, got taken out. Now, the point can be made that yes, he could have just gotten frostbitten and it would have been cancelled anyway. But it really depends. Like, it depends how fast you are. As soon as you get ruptured, you TP away. And worst case scenario, it gets cancelled and you die, but that's the best you can do. He deals so much damage to that CM though. That shockwave, level 4 shockwave just does so much damage to the poor CM, who's only got 620 HP. See, Horace has got an invis room, but I don't think he's going to be able to do too much with it. Bristleback's just gone back. He's just focusing the jungle a bit. Now he's coming back around, so he's got to be careful because the Fortune's End will come out. And this is the point where they could catch him up. But Senior, he's very low. So it's up to Rasta. And the... oh, there's the Shackle. And there should be a Fortune's End coming up after this. But he's not in range. And he can just use the Fate's Edict. And he will do the right job. Sorry, it was the Purifying Flames. My apologies, not the Fate Edict. But he did do the... That's exactly what they needed to do. So there's no problems there. Gog, he's copying a bit of damage from those glaives. He sent his other Meepo to use the Shrine, but Miss Micro not really using the Shrine yet. He did not have to send both of them back. And the tower in mid is gone. So, by the way this Meepo is playing currently, I'm going to assume he's not that great on the Meepo. He's got the Dragon Lance. And bot lane looks like there might be a bit of trouble here. In fact, Horace has copped the forgot the name, the Rupture, and he gets taken out. And Frostbite onto Visual. And the Skewer away. And he'll be okay. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can really stop the Rupture either. And they could turn this around. They do so. The Dagger and the Shackle. And that will be enough. And overextension from the Bloodseeker. So he gave his life away for really no reason there. There was no necessity for him to be in that position. And they see the Bristleback now. Won't be able to get there in time. They should just throw out the Fortune's End right now. In fact, they do. And that should be long enough. Oh, he doesn't use the Shackle. He uses the Lightning. That's a bit of a mistake, but the net comes out and it will be enough at the end of the day. And now CM's here. And Luna's actually TP'd in as well, but she hasn't got Eclipse. No, she does. The net comes out, hits CM. And she could get taken down here, the Shackle. Now, Rupture. And there's the Eclipse, but it's onto nobody. And Horace has actually turned around trying to man-fight this. Purifying Flames had to be used a second time to Luna, but doesn't do it. And Gog not there with the net in time. Meanwhile, top lane looks like Visual. Still going up against this Anti-Mage. And actually, Sam ultimate committed. And this Bloodseeker's gone a bit too far, I think. And now Meepo's just going to be able to take him out. The Poof's dealing a lot of damage. And Senor, he's here now. Bristleback. Dagger comes out. And now, not enough damage dealt. I mean, Bristleback's just too tanky. You got level 3 Bristleback passive now, so not really too concerned about what's going on. Looks like the pings are coming out saying, let's take out this Anti-Mage. The RP is available. But the RP, the stun is not long enough to hold the Anti-Mage in place. They're going to need probably 2 more heroes. Like, if you have the Shadow Shaman there with the Shackle to follow it up, then yeah, it'll be fine. But if you don't have the Shadow Shaman with the Shackle, I don't feel like the RP is long enough. Don't forget, though, as well, they have a Meepo with the net, and you can't blink out of net. Which is probably why the Meepo was picked. Because the Anti-Mage just won't be able to blink out. And everything's pretty calm at the moment. Meepo top of the last hits, but that's to be expected. Followed by the Anti-Mage. Oh, Rock Dart. He could be in trouble, but no. Bristle just decides to back off a bit. This is the thing with Bristles, especially this early, because they're so tanky. The only thing they're lacking is mana. If they just had more mana, they could just continuously destroy people, no matter what lane they're on with those Quill Sprays. Oh, and there's a Rupture. And Visual, he might have to commit an RP. No, he'll make the TP away, but there's the Mana Void as well. And he has to commit the RP. No, doesn't use it. And the Rupture will eventually get the kill. Actually, Lunatic gets the last hit. And Oracle still not level 6. No, he was. But just didn't use the False Promise. And now they're actually going to Bristleback at the bot lane. And looks like he's overextended a bit. Where's the secondary dagger? It's not there yet. And now the CM Ultimate dealing a lot of damage here. And that'll be the end of that. I thought that was a definite kill onto the Bristleback, but just not enough follow-up, I guess. Tier 1 being taken down to top. Horus is there, but can't do much by himself. And he's gonna throw out these names are so long for Oracle. The Fortune's End. Just Oracle skills are just the names are so ridiculous. AM trapped up, beautiful nets from Cog. Gets the kill. He wants to use the shrine straight away. Keep going. This Meepo's now got the blink dagger. We'll find out soon if he's able to. Yeah, he probably can. The blink poof combo, where you just blow heroes up. Like that CM's gonna stand no chance against that. Even the rest of the heroes at this early stage of the game are gonna go down. Where is this Luna copying so much damage? Bristol actually going on to Senior Cheesy Cake. Quick dagger slows him down just enough so they can get away. They're picking up that top lane again, and I think Visual, he's got to be careful. He's got no vision here of what's going on. And CM's there. She's got a double damage, but the Frostbite's going to be enough. Now Lunatic comes in, and he's got the Skewer, so he'll skewer away, but the Rupture's there. And the Mana Void committed as well. He does commit the RP, but just unfortunate. Definitely not worth RPing there. I mean, probably a bit of a panic RP. Trying to delay it so his teammates can TP in, but nobody was TPing in to begin with anyway. And I suppose it's another thing you could mention is there's no rotations coming in. So every time that Visual's been RP'd, nobody's tried to TP in. I think Horus was the only one that tried to the last time. But that time around, just nobody tried. Maybe you can fend them off or make something out of that RP. But definitely, like, got to TP. Got to have those supports ready to TP when these things happen. And in addition to that, of course, Visual definitely should not be that far up the lane with no at this time with no wards to see what's going on in this area of the jungle. Definitely should not be at that point of the lane. That being said, Lunatic is pretty far himself, and there is a Meepo here. But looks like Horus may have scared that AM off, and realizing he's too deep, has to back off. Meepo's actually going to go for the search though, and if he manages to net Lunatic. That's a dead Lunatic. He blinks the wrong way. Now he sees him. But the creeps are there and they'll see the Meepo. And Lunatic has to be so careful. The man fears for his life right now. And if he shows himself once and gets netted, that's it for him. And he's just going to stay in those trees for the time being. Tier 1 going down. Meanwhile, bot lane looks like Bristol almost takes out the PA. And they found the AM, but he blinks away, and he blinks the right way, duking them out. Now the Rupture comes out, and who is it on? I can't say. No, it is on Visual again, and he doesn't have the RP anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Or the wards drop, but it doesn't matter. The CM ulti was there. And the wards just get fed pretty much. Now they're going to keep chasing. Horus is in big trouble, gets taken out from the AM. Meepo's trying his best. Takes out the AM, almost takes out the Bloodseeker with him, but 4 for 1. Not what you want. And a lot of gold goes the way of the Dire. Definitely a very weak start for the side of the Radiant. And these kills that have been given away is just not what you want. Strangely enough, Luna's going for an Aghanim Scepter. I don't think it's the worst. In fact, considering that they have so much late game on the side of the Dire, I can kind of see why. Like, it's almost worth getting that just to have some mid-game itemization. And I mean, that Eclipse is kind of insane in the mid-game if you have the Aghanims. And he's going to have it very early. He just needs 60 gold now. And after these creeps, in fact, he's not going to take those creeps. Meanwhile, looks like a Deso still trying to be brought up on the PA. Getting pretty close though. Oh, and Cog. Gonna be hard to keep up with this man. Actually takes out the AM. And he's going straight for a Hex. The thing is with Meepo, because they farm so fast, they can afford to go for the crazy late game items very quickly if they really want. Looks like Bloodseeker going to try and go for something. He has the Blade Mail and has the Echo Saber, so can blow up Meepo with the Blade Mail. Does use it. The poofs fail. Now the silence comes in. He's been ruptured up as well. And unfortunately, Shota Shaman got silenced as well, so he can't even shackle. And he'll go down first. CM with the ulti onto Cog. And there's the false promise. Not the false promise, the Fate's Edict. But he's still ruptured up. Now he's not. And the false promise, bit too late. Now he's going to get taken out. It's a triple kill to the Bloodseeker. Again, Bloodseeker making plays. And that rupture really making it hard for GOG to do anything. Some good ultis from CM as well. Very good rotations from the CM, and always using an ulti when it's off cooldown. And now PA has the Deso, so she could probably afford to make some TPs into team fights if necessary. Because she can deal out that damage. Jumps onto Lunatic, dealing quite a bit of damage. Almost takes him out in fact, but the blink away. It was never going to happen. Meanwhile, top lane, big RP onto 2. Now the skewer back into the tier 2. Now they're in trouble. The Eclipse comes out though. The shackle's not going to matter anymore. And where's Meepo? Meepo's still down in fact. And Horus is the only one left. So the RP didn't matter because the Eclipse was just so strong. And that was an Aghanim Scepter Eclipse, which makes total sense because it just demolished the enemy heroes. And now the Bloodseeker puts that Blood Rage for the extra damage onto the Luna. And not only is it going to heal her up, but I think they could even... They're thinking about going for a Axe here, and I don't blame them. Tier 3 is getting hit up and forces Senior Cheesy Cake to come back and start defending, and he will do so. Definitely not what you want to have to do as a PA, but when the time calls for it, it's what you got to do. Now Cog. Just still farming. Oh, there's a blink in and the net as well. And looks like AM is in big trouble. He should go down here and I can't imagine he'll escape. No, the net stops him from blinking. And he will get taken down. Looks like there was a smoke attempt from Horus, but... Oh, he's actually going to get found out now. And CM should get the Frostbite here. No, doesn't get it off. Looks like she may have copped a bit of fog, but I can't see how she missed that. And now they're going to turn it around. Looks like the Fortune's End will be available, and actually PA will make the jump in, and Senior takes her out with the crit. She's just so squishy. And she does get taken out. And there's a bit of Latin talk, I think. Is that Espanol that I see? Not totally sure. Looks like the Peruvians have taken over the US servers again, as I hear. And they're picking out that tier 1. They really want to go for that. And there is a TP in, coming in from AM. And Visual has the RP available. Lunatic won't make any kind of jump. There's absolutely no point to try and do so. And that'll be the end of it. Now they're just going to farm those wards. And you definitely don't want to give those wards away, but at the very least, if you're going to get a tier 1, I suppose it's worth committing them. And there's going to be a big team fight here, and Meepo got to be so careful. And they actually let him go. They don't see him yet. They're going to go for the top lane, and Oracle's going to be the first one caught out. Horus, he's going to go down straight away. Doesn't use the false promise. It probably should have to try and delay it, but regardless, Bloodseeker got the Rupture available if need be. And meanwhile, GOG, he's still taking Roshan, so it's just pretty darn funny how they just walked around, didn't think to check the Roshan pit when Meepo was missing, but end of the day, that's what's happened. And the Shrine, he wants to use it, but Bristleback, he's going to find him. And they use the Shrine straight away. Now GOG, he has to turn around and try and make something happen. The Eclipse comes out. And this looks really bad. And they blow him up straight away. And he has the Aegis, but he's in so much trouble. And I think he's dead. Oh no, big RP onto 5. And look at the damage he's dealing. The poofs on the Ultra Kill. And looks like Bloodseeker trying to run away. I really was not expecting that RP to come in. But it did, and that was absolutely massive. And Bloodseeker manages to back off. The gold swing is absolutely crazy. 2.5k, that's a pretty big deal at this stage of the game, and I really don't think they were expecting that. Bit of trash talk from the Shadow Shaman. Now Horus, he's gonna find the Bloodseeker, but I don't know if he might be in trouble if he doesn't run away now. Because Bloodseeker does a lot of damage. In fact, he's by himself, uses the Fate's Edict, so he can't attack quite yet. Now his teammate's going to come in. Senor Cheesycake's there, starts attacking up on him. Now the silence comes out as well. And Bloodseeker might be able to make something happen here. Senor, he's taking too much damage. They evade, though, on the last hit. And now Gog's here, and they should be able to get the last kill. But look at him run so freaking fast, the race car. And he's got the blink, he's got the shockwave, gets the last kill on visual. And that's a good kill, but now Lunatic's here and he actually gets netted up. Oh, this is really bad, but Bristleback's there as well now. CM's there as well. Does she have the ultimate? No, she doesn't. They do manage to take out Gog for the AM. And Visual, he's by himself. The skewer away, but he catches the CM on the way out. Frostbite, and he's got the ultimate there as well. Starts channeling it up, and that's another kill for the way of the CM. So that's 18 to 22 now. And it's starting to look very bad for the side of the Radiant. Like, even though your Meepo is top net worth, this is not what you want out of the side of the Radiant. I've got to say, though, there's been some very good plays from the side of the Radiant regardless. So, if they can hold out a bit, try to keep those plays going, they might be able to pull something off. The Dire being very greedy, not going for the tier 2s, just going straight for the tier 3. There's a Hex out from Rockdart, now the Shackle as well. The Glaives are bouncing around, they're still taking out the tier 3. Now the Ward's committed to try and take this Bristol back out, but they're doing absolutely no damage. And it'll just break his way out. The tier 3 looks like it will end up going down. And the Eclipse, oh my goodness, just blew up Shadow Shaman. Poor man had no chance whatsoever, and now they're going to go for the racks. And the Fortune's End comes out. And the dagger will not crit, unfortunately, Luna. Got to be careful. There's Senor Cheesecake. Jumps in. Big RP onto 3. And he's going to skewer them back into the wards as well. And look at the damage that's being dealt. And Luna will get taken down at the end as well. That's 3 down. Rack's not lost as well. And my goodness, I suppose that's what you get for being a bit greedy. You could have gone for the tier 2s. But they didn't do so. And they will get taken out at the end of the day. Now silence coming out from the Bloodseeker. And almost takes out Senor Cheesecake. Rockdart used the smoke, but I think Lunatic saw it. Grabbed himself a bounty rune, just going to back off. And now they might find the Bloodseeker. Have we got the Hex? Yes, the Hex is available on GOG now, and they're going to find the Bloodseeker. They should just Hex him up straight away. No, they'll Hex the AM. That's the main target. Now they'll just net him up. But Bloodseeker, he's ruptured up one of the Meepos and manages to take him out. Now Horus tries to come in. The dagger actually gets the kill with the crit. And Senor, he might have to use the, they might have to use the Shrine if necessary. But it's 2-on-1. Waiting for the Shackle from Rockdart, and they will be able to eventually find it. No, it was the Hex first. Now the silence dodged completely. And there's the Shackle. Senor Cheesecake praying for a crit right now. But there's just none coming out. And the Blade Mail, but no, they'll get the kill at the end of the day. It will go on to the Shadow Shaman. And that's a good couple kills. At the end of the day, that the Meepo and the Oracle did end up going down. And for anyone watching, if you guys enjoy, please consider subscribing and following the Twitch channel. Follow me at MLP Dota on Twitter. I hope you guys enjoy the cast. Let me know if you guys have any replays you want me to cast or any games. Happy to do so. Senor Cheesecake finds a double damage rune. Got the Morbid Mask. Got a Basher. So he's farmed pretty well for himself now. He's catching up quite a lot. Let's have a look, see what's going on on the Dire in terms of itemization. See Lunatic, he's got the Vanguard, and he's just picked up the Battle Fury. It's on the Courier now. CM going for the Blink Dagger, so a bit greedy. I prefer that the CMs generally go for a Glimmer Cape, but nevertheless goes for the quick blink. Sees Bristleback doing very well for himself. Got the Crimson Guard, got the Blade Mail, got the Treads. Where's our Bloodseeker? He's got the Echo Saber, he's got the Blade Mail. Got the BKB now as well as the Phase Boots. Ward's down, going for the tier 1 at bot. TB's in, a Shadow Shaman will get taken down. Eclipse committed. And they're just going to take out these wards. And this Aghanim Scepter really paying off for this Luna right now. And the Meepo gets out of there before he gets ruptured. They could go for a kill. The Bloodseeker's pretty far by himself, but they're probably afraid somebody's there. There's just no vision available. Now they'll know that he's by himself, but it's too late. CM blinks in. Got to be so careful though. Visual can go for a skewer attempt. Does have the blink dagger available. Surprised he didn't go for it actually. Could have made it, I think. Oh, and there's a smoke out. So they're going to go try and find a pick off. I hope they realize it's an illusion, and they should do so they do. Obviously smoke doesn't break on illusions, and there's CM. Not the best hero to get if you're smoked up, but it's better than nothing, and it's the only one that's really available to them. She actually blinks straight into them, and she'll be dead. There's no way she's going to survive this. Uses the... Who's got the Yules, actually? Oh, it's the Oracle that had the Yules. So Horus uses the Yules, but nevertheless, gets the last hit. And the Rax at the top lane in trouble. Cog forced to poof back and take care of these creeps. You can see Gog, he's got a lot of farm. Just this Bloodseeker causing a lot of trouble for him, and then the Eclipses coming out. Just not what he wants. Too much focus on the Meepos and just giving him a real headache. You can see it was a rather late Battle Fury for the Anti-Mage. But nevertheless, it will speed up the farm quite a lot. There's a bit of a poof in with the Hex, and the net does connect, but it's late. And now Bloodseeker's here, and looks like he wanted to get Luna, but Gog, he's in massive trouble, and he's going to turn around and man-fight this, and the Eclipse comes out, and he actually gets the AM. So he got something out of that. Just shows you the strength of the Meepo. When you're 3-0-1 and the ultis are committed, like the Rupture and the Eclipse are committed, and you still manage to turn around and get an AM kill, that's still a big deal. And that will prevent them from being able to push with the AM. They're going to still go. The Luna, she really wants this rack. She'll get the range one at the least. But she might give away her life for this. Oh, beautiful RP onto 2. Now the Hex as well. And they're definitely dead. The Shackle. And now, yep, that's 2 dead. And Horus actually gets both the kills somehow. But that's what they get, I suppose. It's too greedy. They've still got 2 tier 2s around. I know it's an exposed Rax, but there's no necessity for the Dire to be pushing that Rax. When they've got 2 tier 2s sitting around, they can go for shrines around the map as well and take map control. They've got the stronger late game because Meepo will eventually drop off. But they don't choose to, and now they probably lose one of their tier 2s and maybe even some heroes if they stick around. And CM, just got to be so careful. Because Cog could blink in at any moment. Lunatic. Blinks in. Oh, Meepo, I know he wants to go for it. He's thinking about it. Now he has the vision. No, he's just going for the tier 3. And the wards are dropped as well. And this, like I said, this could be a bit greedy, but they could actually try for it now. There's no buybacks coming out, so this could actually happen here. But the Bristol's here, and this might deflect them from trying to go for it. The nets are coming out, holding AM in place. Now Meepo dealing so much damage to this melee Rax, and they should just take it out, and they do. And now they turn around onto the Bristol back with the Hex, but the Blade Mail comes out, and PA manages to take out the CM. Gog will end up going down for this. No, the Fortune's End comes, the False Promise, my apologies, comes out. And 2 down so far. And Bloodseeker, he wants to get a lot of revenge for this, and he will do so. Senor, he'll be the next target. And he should go down here from the AM, but he's going to try and man-fight this. The evade might pay off. Oh, and he gets the kill. Now the RP committed onto the Bloodseeker. Oh, he turns around and gets a triple kill. The crit's paying off, but Luna with the Eclipse. And now Horus is in massive trouble, but the dagger still slowing him down, and he can't get the last last hit. Now he's still got the Lucent Beam available, and the Edict is used. And Mao, he will be able to get it. No, the Eels is used. Horus, he's playing like a real champion right now. And he might actually be able to get the kill. Can he do it? The false promise paying off so much, and he gets the kill. And he should go down to this. He's not really healing himself. Probably laughing too hard at the moment. And that's both teams wiped. Both teams have been completely wiped. And skadoosh is the correct term to use at this point. And I'd love to imitate LD and say they're all dead, but don't want to wake the neighbors up right now. Rasta makes a TP to the shrine. And looks like he'll be going for an Aghanims and should have it relatively soon. Just going to get that farm in. Got a 4-staff now. AM got the Yasha. So his farm's really starting to escalate. But he's not really dealing too much damage in these team fights. The problem is this Meepo just holds him in place with those nets. And he's doing a good job of that at the very least. See, I really feel like the CM didn't need to go Blink Dagger. Like, it helps. But a Glimmer Cape would solve so many issues for you. And now he's going for a BKB, and that's very greedy. It's just unnecessary. Like, the team fights don't really depend on a CM ulti. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, she should probably focus more on just making sure that they have warding around the map. And making sure they're always aware of where these heroes are, especially the Meepo. But not doing that may cost you. Now, the Meepo will be getting an Eye of Skadi of all things as well. So he's just going to get so much tankier. Because the stats go around to all the Meepos. You just want to go stat-based items if you can. Senior Cheesecake, he has the actual, he has the Abyssal Blade now as well. And we'll see if he goes for a Satanic with that Morbid Mask. Or whether he's just going to go for something like a Vladimir's. But he could really just leave that to one of his own, one of his allies. Like the Magnus. So Visual probably should be going for that Vladimir's offering. Just the aura will really help out his team. The Meepos and the PA. But nevertheless, we'll see what he does. Smoke comes out from the Shadow Shaman. And looks like it might be a smoke attempt. And they might even go for a secondary Roshan. Meepo just running his way in. No, he's going to go farm some creeps. I think the rest of the team is waiting for him. And Gog, is he going to be interested in this? He only needs to take the main one. Doesn't really need to take all his Meepos. And yeah, they're pinging at the Roshan. They know the Die are going for it. And there's the smoke. And actually Meepo, he's right next to them now. Gets the second ultimate orb. And now they're gonna make it. They're gonna rush in. They've got to be quick though. It's half HP down. That goo with the minus defense does do a lot of damage. CM, they're gonna see us straight away. They should know it's they're in the Roshan. The Aegis is taken. And they need a massive RP here, and it's there if they want it. And there's the 4-man RP. Now the Shackle, and this is just terrible for the Dire. They end up getting taken down. It's 4 down. The Aegis will respawn Luna, but she actually throws the Eclipse. Could do a lot of damage. Does take out the Oracle, and she Shadow Blades away. I didn't realize she had that. Still, massive win for the side of the Radiant, but bit of a shame they couldn't get the final kill on the Luna, and the Oracle did end up going down. And they're going to go through mid. The thing is, the Rax is already down, so they should be going for a tier 2. And AM is split pushing pretty well. Are they going to rush the Ancient? They blink to Luna. Luna, Shadow Blades away. Now they could turn this around. And CM does have the ulti when available. The net, they're going to take her out straight away. Beautiful skewer onto 2. And they push Bristol back into the team fight. That's 2 down again. The buyback's coming out. Luna will be buying back straight away. Visual TP's away. And Meepo will take out this Bristol back. And Luna, she has bought back, but definitely doesn't want to die again. And they're going to keep pushing here. No, they're going to decide to back up, I think. It's too dangerous. They're going to give a kill away here if they're not careful. The Eclipse isn't available, and Gog actually goes in. The poofs are going to start coming out too, and I think Luna's just died back here. No, they don't keep going. They had a dagger available, I'm pretty sure, but Senor doesn't use it. Now one tier 4's down. They could go for the second Gog. I mean, he's got one very low meepo, and he'll blink that away. That's his main meepo. The rest can just poof if necessary. The Rupture, he should just poof them away right now, and he will do so, and he should be okay. That one Ruptured though, oh no, he'll still go after them, and they'll get the meepo at the end. Or actually, Bloodseeker copping a lot of damage, but no, he'll survive through it. And so they get the 2 tier 4s, they expose the Ancient, but there's still 2 tier 2s sitting on the map. So I would argue that's maybe a bit of a misplay. Like, there's no necessity to go for the tier 2s, the tier 4s, unless you're planning to go for those like you're just planning to go for the Ancient Rush, which you can. But you run the risk of delaying the game too long, which they could be doing here, because you've got a Luna, you've got an AM, you got a Bloodseeker and a Bristleback. They're very late game orientated. And PA, Senor, he's in a bit of danger. That evade really paying off. Forced to use the BKB now. Oh, and a beautiful RP onto 2. And the PA dealing so much damage. And no, they won't take out the Bristol. The Eclipse paying off, and now the CM ultimate cancels straight away. It looks like Visual is in massive trouble. No, they take out the Luna. He skewers away, and Bristleback gets taken out. Now CM will be the next target. That's 4 down again. Meanwhile, AM is split pushing as fast as he can, and looks like the tier 3 will go down at this point. And Meepo continues the trash talk, and AM blinks into the trees. They know he's there somewhere. He doesn't actually have a TP, which is a massive mistake on his part. He TP's out. No, he TP's to the left, does he? Yes, he does. So trying to evade them as best he can. Skewer should have gone to the left, and he buys a TP through the fountain, through the Radiant base, and gets out of there. So good escape. Tier 3 almost down. And this is really what the AM has to do. He hasn't really got any other option. He can't team fight against his team, because the Meepo is just holding him in place the whole time. So he's doing the right thing by split pushing, but his team is really suffering. You can see the Bristleback is going for the Radiance. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, that's just unnecessary at this point. It's 40 minutes in. He could go for better like aura based items. Like, he can go for a Vladimir's, which would really help out. He's already got a Crimson Guard. He could go for a pipe. There's just even like a Ghost Scepter would help to evade the to stop the Meepo from being able to hit up on you, and the PA. I don't know, like, I just don't agree with the Radiance pickup. I guess it's okay, but is it going to do that much for the team? Probably not. Especially when you're behind, like they are now. In fact, what's the net worth say? So, team net worth 10k in the way of the Radiant. That's kind of massive. And XP almost 15k now. So, they're very far ahead on the side of the Radiant right now. And the itemization that's coming out is just probably not the right way to go. Basher now picked up on Lunatic, who is itemizing the right way. He's doing the right thing. Just these nets are just so painful. Every time Meepo's around, he has to be away. And he has to be split pushing. I have Skadi now fully picked up on GOG. And they're just going to farm some Ancients. Looks like they might want to make a smoke attempt. By the way, they're hanging around each other. In fact, they will. And it is a right time, because if they do manage to smoke up and get a good team fight, then they can pretty much take the Ancient. And they may find this Bloodseeker, but he's invis, so he could break the smoke here. And he could really save his team a lot of heartache if he does manage to do so. Oh, no. Looks like Bristle might be the target. They just can't find anyone quite yet. Now he'll break some smoke. And Horus has got to be wondering, and they think it's a Roche Pit, but it's definitely not. And Bloodseeker, he still has a lot of time on that invis, so he'll be okay. In fact, the Dire are coming in and trying to make something happen. And is this going to be a big team fight? They're waiting on that RP. And where is Visual? Visual is back here, so he's not really ready for that. And, oh, Meepo going for the Bloodseeker, but gets taken out. And they really left him alone. In fact, the reason they did that was AM was pushing that bot lane. And Lunatic actually managed to take out the Shadow Shaman. And that they've got to go back and defend this top now, because it's going to start copping damage. Although, it definitely won't go down as long as somebody's there to defend. Although, they're going to need someone better than Horus. No, even Horus might just do... Yeah, PA will be here anyway. But they're drawing a line. Meepo actually has no buyback. That's a massive mistake on his part. No buyback on the Meepo. Getting too greedy with those items. And looks like the bot went down. AM going to keep pushing. So they've got to decide where they're going to try and defend this. And it's very hard to choose when you've got an AM split pushing your bot lane. And he will eventually get it. He's got the melee. He'll go for the racks. The Serpent Wards are dropped. They have to commit an RP if they want him. And they won't do so. Meepo is still not up. Meanwhile, mid lane, halfway down, Luna went top and took the melee racks. This could be Megas. And beautiful skewer, but they ruptured the Magnus. Luna is taken out before the Eclipse comes out. Now the Shrine used. Bloodseeker has to be so careful. They're pinging that tier 3. And Lunatic comes in, takes it. Now Senor Cheesecake trying to go for something here. CM, she's trying her best to hold him in place. And looks like Lunatic's in danger. Oh, the RP missed. Beautiful blink from Lunatic and Bloodseeker. They've just got to be counting their blessings and run the hell away from that situation. But Bloodseeker's been dusted up. Will get taken down. In fact, a crit on the dagger. But they lost 2 racks and the third tier 3 as well. And now AM can go for the Shrine. Chooses not to because they'll come kill him if he sticks around. And you can sense the Radiant, the urgency in them trying to get to that Ancient as fast as they can. The Meepo's up and TPing in as well. So this could be massive. This could be the final fight of the game, possibly. They're pushing in. If they focus the Ancient, they may be able to just finish it off. But the Eclipse will be available in just a second. And it's going to be massive if you can get it off on all the heroes. And they're going to focus the Ancient. PA will start going on. The nets coming out of the illusions. Bristleback. Oh, there's the Eclipse dealing so much damage. But they've caught somebody out. In fact, I think it might be the AM. And they did do so. And AM goes down. Bloodseeker still down. PA in a lot of trouble. The False Promise comes out. But he's definitely going to go down if he doesn't get healed up. He's trying to take out that Bristleback before he dies. And he can't do so. Meepo, I'm not sure who he's focusing at the moment. And he's not really focusing anyone. In fact, the PA goes down as well. And now Bristol, will he go down? The nets miss. And I think Meepo's just got to back off now. He can turn around and kill that Bristleback. In fact, no, he will just poof out. And I'm just not sure what happened there. Like, that looked like a beautiful moment. The Eclipse was doing a lot. But at the end of the day, the PA went down. There was no heals on top of him to try and keep him alive through that False Promise. And unfortunately, they just couldn't get to that Ancient. In fact, they only dealt a bit of damage. And perhaps if they did end up killing that Bristleback, they could have just gone for it. Killed the Luna off and finished the game off. But bit of a misplay from the Radiant, I think. Horus got a Solar Crest now as well as a Glimmer Cape. Obviously offers a lot more to support that PA, who does need that support in those team fights. But I feel like the Oracle has to focus a lot on healing up that TA during the False Promise, because I've never seen him heal him up really that well. And there is a high chance you can keep them alive, because the heal is doubled while the False Promise is on. So what Oracle should be doing is telling the PA back the hell out, give him the Fate's Edict, and then just spam as many Purifying Flames as you can before that Fate's Edict runs out. Just haven't seen that though. Cog will go for the Roshan. And it will be relatively fast. Look at all those stacks of Geostrikes dealing all that damage periodically. And there won't be any congestion. None of them are low enough so that Bloodseeker can see them through the Thirst. And now he'll know. He picks up the cheese, puts it in the backpack, gets the Aegis, and will TP straight the hell out before Bloodseeker comes in and takes care of business. It's 46 to 40 at the moment, and this is the part of the game where we forget about net worth and we go to the buyback screen. Because now it's do or die for both teams. One has an exposed ancient, the other has 2 racks down. And only an exposed racks as well, so things are looking pretty scary for both teams. That being said, I have a feeling the Die feel a lot more confident at this point because they have the later the later heroes at this stage of the game. It's very hard in these situations as well because the Radiant are going to find it difficult to try and make a smoke happen. Which is really what they need to do at the moment. Yeah, like, it's definitely advised, get all the lanes pushed out and start smoking. But the problem is this AM's always going to be around, and he's always going to be there trying to take that mid racks. But that being said, if they get a team wipe and there's no buybacks available on the Die, which there's only a CM buyback available, then they can go straight for the Ancient. It doesn't matter if AM gets the Megas or not, because the Ancient will get taken down at the end of the day. Still, they're just farming around. No one willing to really overextend at this point. Visual, he actually has a refresher now. So, along with that, mind you, we haven't seen Visual's items for a very long time. I don't think I've even looked at them since he had the Blink Dagger. But he's had the Echo Saber, he has the Shiver's Guard, and he has a Refresher Orb now. So that double RP could mean the difference in these team fights. Even got a Refresher coming out soon on the Shadow Shaman. Just needs about 300 gold. No, 150 now. But you really need to save for those buybacks. A Refresher only does so much for your team. Especially on a Shadow Shaman. Like, it's not a big deal. It just means that if you rush the Ancient, you put wards here, you put wards here, and they can't really decide which ones they want to go for, and they deal all the damage to those Ancients. Not to mention the increased damage and range of the Serpent Wards that he has with the Aghanims. I didn't realize Serpent Wards now had split shot when you get Aghanims as well. That's interesting. That's quite a big deal. And it's almost like the Radiant are just going to wait for the Die to come and make a mistake. Which is fair enough. Because they have got good high ground defense with the RPs. Now, Aghanims have to pick up on... Was that Horus that picked it up? I think it may have been. Yeah, it is. What the hell does Aghanim do on this guy? Oh, that's right. The Purifying Flames. No cast point and a 1 second cooldown. That is a big deal. That, like, you could just spam the living crap out of it. Cog still farming though. Has got the Aegis, so you would have thought he would have tried to make some kind of play here, but not really. It is this man that they're afraid of. Because if they lose a team fight, the racks are... Like, even while they're team fighting, the racks is going to be gone. And if they lose that team fight, then you've got Megas to deal with. So I understand the fears here. And Oracle showing off his Purifying Flames. Look at all that heal. That's what it needs to do when the False Promise comes on. See, Mao, he has the Manta, has the Eye of Skadi. Not too much else after that, but still, he's pretty much, like I said, he went for that mid-game style Luna, which has paid off for his team. See, Bristle got a heart now. Very, very tanky indeed. 3.6k HP. BKB was picked up on CM as well. Butterfly on IM. As well as an Abyssal as well. Satanic was picked up on Senor Cheesy Cake. And now we have the refresher on the Shadow Shaman. So those wards are going to do a lot of damage onto those structures. And they only want one structure in particular. This one right here. You could always do the classic smoke play where you smoke up around here. Around this area. And then you rush mid. Like you might just rush around this way. Or rush around this way. To the Ancient. And then you can pretty much just go crazy on the Ancient and just go through a backdoor protection. Because at this stage of the game, they really can. Especially when you've got two sets of Serpent Wards. And the Empower. And that because you're smoked, nobody knows. As long as you don't run into anyone, you're fine. There is a smoke attempt, but I'm wondering what they plan to do. I think they're going for a team fight. And AM shows himself a bot lane. Just using those Manta Illusions to push. They've got to ignore him, though, and they are doing so. And they're actually going to run straight into each other. And CM blinks straight into them. Gets taken out straight away. Now a Shackle and the RP committed. And he'll have to refresh in just a moment. But the Luna's dead as well. That is absolutely massive. But they have buybacks available. Bristleback will be the next target. The net's coming out. The buybacks come out as well. There's another RP used. Bristol's still not down. Now he is. PA, very low HP. But has the Satanic. Now the False Promise start healing him up. And this will be a quick heal. And PA actually jumps back in. That's very dangerous. The Eclipse might kill him off. In fact, I think it will be enough to kill him off. And PA should not have blinked back in. Now AM going for the final racks. And they didn't have buybacks available when they went for that smoke. That is a massive mistake to make. So Meepo really failing with those buybacks not being there. Now Bloodseeker going for Horus. And Lunatic going to be there. The Glimmer Cape used. And he's going to try his best to juke this out. And I think he might just be able to get away with it. Now they're coming through mid. Luna wants to finish this game off. Good blink in from Senior. And Bloodseeker. They really want to finish this game. The glaives start bouncing around. And these glaives are always painful to watch. And Lunatic, he jumps in, goes after Visual, but Visual will just skewer away. Has the RP up in about 30 seconds. The glaive's doing so much damage though. They've got to defend this. And no Meepo available. The Serpent Wards have been dropped. And he drops both of them, trying to defend this base. Now the Shackle, but this is looking really bad. The Ancient's exposed, and Bloodseeker starts hitting up, but he's copping so much damage. Those Serpent Wards actually kill off the Bloodseeker, and the CM almost gets taken down. Now, Bristleback gets taken down. Lunatic. The PA is going to be able to take him out. The Skewer as well. They actually managed to take out the AM as well. This is absolutely massive. No, they didn't manage to take him out. He's still running. I thought he went down. And he's just manages to get away with the skin of his teeth. And now 2 exposed Ancients. The only problem is the Radiant. They're up against the Mega Creeps. And Bristleback. The standard early GG call. I'm not sure you should be doing that, my friend. And I'll tell you what, if the Radiant can come back after that kind of trash talk, I mean, it's just the best feeling, just being able to give it back. If they can, though. Mega Creep's obviously very hard to come back from. Could go for the standard kamikaze push, which is what I like to call it when you pretty much smoke suicide through mid. And if you actually manage to make something happen, you just go, like, basically base race. Base race is what they kind of need to do right now. Now, they could wait. And they could wait for the die to make a mistake. But if that doesn't happen, then they've lost. And I think that's the thing they're going for. They're deciding that they're going to wait it out. And hopefully win a team fight when they come in. Really up to getting some massive RPs though. Hopefully for the sake of the Radiant, hopefully that Refresher Orb is back up by the time that the die try to come in and take down this Ancient. The Roshan is being taken out by GOG. That's a good thing to take because it's, if you gave it to the die, they could almost just win the game with the Aegis and Cheese. And I believe that's the 4th one of the game going down now. And GOG will take himself a Cheese and Aegis. Bit unfortunate though, he is pretty much 6-slotted. Except for that Dragonlance that he should really get rid of. Don't forget that Meepo. We'll just TP it out. And Bloodseeker doing the smart thing, taking the objectives, just getting rid of any chances that the Radiant have. But the Radiant still defending, not calling GG. There are 2 exposed racks, and the thing is, when you've got 2 exposed racks, anything can happen. You never give up until one of the Ancients go down, in which case you don't really have a choice. You have to kind of let it go. Now the refresh Serpent Wards are available again. Each one of those serpents do 100 damage, and they split shot, and they cleave the damage, like it's a splash damage. Heart now available on Lunatic. Bit of a silence goes out on GOG. This is going to be a massive team fight if we've ever seen one. And AM pushing those creeps in, really applying those pressure from all sides. And this Meepo is going to be so careful. Problem is, Meepo really drops off at this stage of the game as well. Like, it still does heaps of damage, but it's just too easy to pick off. Oh, and they actually catch the AM with the net, and he can't get out of this. And I think AM's 100% dead. There's the bash as well. And that's an AM down, and I don't know if the die can push now. They might just have to back off. And the AM has no buyback. How has he got no buyback? Oh, this is what I was talking about when you get too cocky because the mega creeps are there. And the thing is, if Meepo micros well, he can defend the base on his own. If he can micro like a god. And Meepo does have boots of travel, so he can just TP in. And now they're going to... I think they're sitting there going, let's force AM's buyback. And they're going to be pleasantly surprised to figure out there's no buybacks available. And the side of the Dire are going to be killing AM right now in their team speak. Casually just going for the push. Now thinking about not going, but they can't do this all game. They've got to make something happen. And are they going for the tier 2? No, surely they can't be. Oh, he picks up the Divine Rapier. I see. So now the crits are going to be absolute. So what is it? 4.5 times. Just trying to do some Australian math. Basically, I'm figuring he's gonna be able to do about 4k damage, and takes out the CM straight away. Where's the crits? I want to see how much he can crit somebody for. I'm expecting at least 2 to 3k crit. And the BKBs, they're going to go straight for the Ancient. The Fortifier's used. And the RPs are available, but the Rupture was there. Now the Yules and Luna trying her best to kill off somebody. And he will end up killing up Horus. There's the RP onto... who is it onto, actually? There's an AM there. There's a 3-man RP, and it's the Bloodseeker who was onto in the first place. And everyone's buying back, but the Ancient goes down. And my goodness, did my frames drop so fast it wasn't even funny. What a game. And that is why you never... ever call GG before the Ancient drops. Don't trash talk when you got mega creeps, because this always happens. This always happens. And I've got to say, these guys, this party that always sends me replays, you guys get into so many mega creep comebacks, it's not even funny. Like, how do you guys not have heart attack? Like, you guys must constantly have heart problems from these mega creep comebacks that you keep sending me. Guys, regardless, it's been Michael Phoenix. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thank you very much for sending the replays. Any criticism is appreciated as usual. Consider subscribing to the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter, which are all in the description below if you enjoyed. Of course, as I always promise, although you guys did win the game, I will provide some criticism, even though I thought you guys played pretty darn well. Now, I know the party is these guys right here. These two are in their own separate party, so I'm going to leave these guys out of it because there's no point. They're probably not going to see any of this. The visual. What is there to say? I mean, he played pretty well with some massive RPs. I don't really have too much to say about him. Like, he probably died a few too many times, but that's pretty standard on Magnus because he's in the middle of everything. Horus, the only thing I have to say about Horus is, I mean, he could tell me I'm wrong about this, but I did in the team fights when he was false promising the PA who was in massive trouble. I just didn't see any heals coming out until he got the Aghanim Scepter. So I felt like there was quite a few times he could have kept Senior Cheesecake alive, and he just didn't. Like, I don't know, maybe it didn't register, maybe the reactions weren't good enough. I'm not sure. I could be completely wrong. Apart from that, pretty good game for him. And Senior Cheesecake, I don't know, everything went decently well. Like, he had a hard lane against a Bristleback. Obviously, the start of the game, they learnt very quickly they couldn't take on the Bristleback because it's a Bristleback. They took him out once, but after that, once he gets that passive, it's impossible practically. So probably I would say he should have focused on last hitting more so than trying to go for the kill into Bristle at the start after the first blood, because once he's got his passive, like I said, it's practically impossible. 3 heroes couldn't kill him multiple times. So I would focus on the last hits more rather than trying to go for kills. But regardless, guys, this game was played way better. 22 kills. I mean, what can I say? What negative things can I say? Mega Creep comeback. You guys did the right thing. Anyway, it's been Michael Phoenix. Thank you very much, guys. You guys have a great night. I hope you guys enjoy the replays I'm about to send you. And until next time.